Happy Saturday morning, you guys. How's everybody doing? I know it's early, but I've been up early. I get up early. Hey, the Black Barbie. I forget the Black Barbie be up right up early with me. I'm gonna wait for more people to come in. Hey, M Rose. I'm gonna do some motivation this morning. Y'all know I get up with the birds, and I was just up thinking. I'm gonna wait for more people to start coming in. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, imperfect earth angel, clarinetta. How's everybody doing? Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate that. I'm just waiting for other people to start coming in. Hey, Grayface, what's up? Howdy, Grayface. Did you all get the did you all think about around the Memphis area? Jeezy is going to be um at an event in Memphis. I like Jeezy. So I was like, I'm gonna make it a girls' event, a girls' night event. I think that would be nice. Great face, were you in the chat when I did the interview? Did you get a chance to look at the whole interview, Great face, that I did with Mr. N? Cause I don't know if I remember you being in the chat. Our Clarinetta says he puts on a really good show. And then Jeezy is low key too. I think that's why he couldn't deal with Jenny Ma, Jenny whatever her name, Jeannie Ma. I thought they was cute together. I think he got with her because she was on that show. But okay, he said Mr. N came through. But I think he was with her because of that. But she comes from a totally different culture, and I'm hearing that she always wanted to have a family there. Hey, Miss Diane Wright and her family. Um, I think Vietnamese families are. She was talking about their culture, like your parents in their culture don't have to ask if they could live with you. Um, None of that. I think Jesus was just really private, and she basically just wanted her whole family to live with them. He said he rewatched it a couple of times. Okay, you all. I want to talk about um they just come and live. Yeah. She said they just come and live. They could just move in without asking. And I think that's what her mom and her brother was doing. And after they bought their big new house in Atlanta, and I think Jeezy has said something. And here's the thing, Jeannie Mai. Am I going to talk about Young Dolph today? You know what? Right now, I'm getting ready to do some motivation. I might talk about it if that's what we get into. But I was getting ready to say this. What Jeannie Mai should have did if her husband was expressing to her that he felt a certain way about her family moving into their home, she should have listened to her husband. Now, here's my thing. I myself, I love my mother with all of my heart and soul. I wouldn't marry a man. I see stuff like that is supposed to be expressed in it. You need to talk about that. I would expect for, like, my mom is not an intrusive type person anyways. So if she came to live with us, it would be because she needed for us. She needed to come and live with us. I would expect for my husband to understand that. And so that's why I think it's best that you talk about stuff like that in the beginning, so that you already have a husband that understands, listen, my mother needs to come and live with us, and vice versa. My husband's mom needed to come and live with us, because she's older and she's got ailments and stuff. I mean, that's already understood. That's already understood. Like, I wouldn't have no issues with that. I think that's one of the reasons, that, hey, I just be constantly praying about stuff. I'm like, Lord, I know that I got it in me to be a millionaire, and I want to be one so that I can buy a lot of land and do like Otis Redding did and build my mother a house on the land when she gets older. My mother-in-law, if my father-in-law is still alive. I'm very family orientated. But now I am very private too. Now I like to spend a lot of time by myself. Even when I get married, I have to have me a little room so I can go lock up in it. He said it's too early to play. She talked about what she wants. What you talk about? 1 week to judgment time. And so, I thought John Brown said it's too early for you to play. You talk about what you want. Oh, and Rose said, I was totally reading that wrong. Lord have mercy. Hey, Tequila. But so I mean, she should have listened to her husband on it. Her mother is not an older woman. She had her own place in California. Her brother, they are very capable of taking care of themselves. If her husband is saying, listen, when I'm not working, I want to come home to peace. Okay, I want to be able to walk around my house and let it swing or whatever, let it hang or whatever how they say it. She needed to have been listening to her husband. I understand her culture, but she needs to listen to her husband. Okay, mama, you can't come and live with us just because you want to come and live in a big house. You got a house in California. You're capable of taking care of yourself. My husband is not comfortable with my mom and my brother coming to live here. Okay. So I think she should have listened to her husband on that. And he kind of blindsided her. He decided, and he said that they was eating a lot of food. Their culture, they buy a lot of food. Now that's the rumor. that it could have been a lie. They were spending a whole lot of money on food and stuff. I guess Jesus was footing the bill. I guess he would have been broke. I guess dealing with Jeannie Mai. Um, hey, Miss Kawana. Joy loves God. How is everybody doing? Oh, and her mother is married? Oh my God. See, she should have listened to her husband. She should have listened to her husband. So she was the one. She gave her own husband up. Because she said that she's very strong-willed and she does what she wants to do, and she lost her husband. And now she can spend all the time she wants to with her mama and brother. Okay. Her mama didn't lose her husband. Like I said, that's why I say it's good to get understandings before you get married on things like that. Because I'm real close to my mother. My mom and I are very close. Okay. And that's because I don't know. My mom had me when she was 16. So when we've never been like friends, but it's always been a mother-daughter relationship. My mom and I are very, very close. Like I talk about everything to my mother, and just as of recently, because I'm the big sister, I never had a big sister. I think like Diane has become like my big sister. So I kind of talk about everything with her. Now, I think, and let me just say this, like, it says, Jeezy is a great artist, flawed man. I saw the interview Carbon did about why they are no longer cool. Love Jeezy down, but he's an interesting fact. What did Jeezy say? You hear from Al Prophet. Shout out to Al Prophet, Tequila. So what did Jesus say? Because he was very vague about why they ended up getting a divorce. Some people say that he did her wrong. Some people say that he did her wrong. I don't know though. Maybe he should have, you know, because she said she was totally blindsided. Jesus should have known better than Jeannie. Said YouTube is, but she like dark meat on the side. Well, she had a husband. She was married to a white guy all those years that she totally annihilated. They said she was very dominant in that relationship, and she totally talked to him like he was garbage. And I think she's just one of those ones with those big personalities that just kind of speak out. Because she said one time, with her husband, I think he was a producer, a white guy. She was like, when his mom is around, he totally acts like a bitch. And she said that on the View or whatever show she was on, the Real or whatever. And I could tell, like, you don't get on especially a national platform like that and say that about your husband when his mom is around. He acts like a bitch. How could you ever call your husband a bitch? That first of all, you do it on national TV on your platform with your husband there. That's kind of messed up. You don't get your husband in front of people and embarrass them. And I'm totally against stuff like that. Like, I don't like people like that try to get their people out in public. That's a way of control, right? You see some men and some women do it all the time when they have those controlling, like, characteristics. If they can loud talk you and they know that you don't like that, yeah, remember I did this, yeah, y'all want to do it. That's a way of controlling you. So it keeps people up under their control. If I don't do this, I know he gonna get out in public and try and do this. See, that's the reason why it's good to know the people that you're with. Okay, because stuff like that will make me flip. But here's the thing, if you're not careful, if you got some shit going on, like if you one of those ones that's trying to build something for yourself, trying to build a business, they'll get you in front of potential customers or in front of like your co-workers and stuff like that. That's a way of controlling you and get you in front of people like that where they know you don't want to be arguing and stuff. And as a way of controlling you, they'll get you in front of them and try and embarrass you. That's why it is good to know the people that you're going to be with before you ever even be with them, okay? Because you'll mess around and shank them. I can't stand nobody like, oh, I cannot stand people like that. I'm telling you. Like how you had two women named Mai. So he had to Jesus did her wrong. He married her after he led the other lady named Mai something on, moved her to Atlanta away from her family, and then married Jeannie. Oh, hey Diane. Yeah, there go my big sister right there. Diane, I was just talking about you. We doing motivational, kind of doing motivational this morning. It was for optics, not love. That's exactly what I thought. They said that he used her to kind of help change his image. If that's so, because it was very vague on why he divorced her. If that is the case, okay, if that is the case, then he'll reap, because she was working hard to make him look bad. I think it was working. Did Jeezy ever believe that he would be able to marry this Asian woman who appears to be white? She's just Asian. She has white skin. Um, she was on The View or The Real or whatever she was on, and then do her wrong, and people not turn against him, this big black man. Okay, because even though we love him, you know, we love his music and all of that. Jeannie had tapped into Jesus was trying to cross over or something, right? Jeannie was loved. She was coming into everybody's homes every day, you know, all across America. So people still, even though he was pretty quiet about it and vague, people still took her side. Yeah, it didn't turn out like he thought it was going to turn out. It didn't turn out like he thought that it was going to turn out. It didn't turn out like that. So it kind of backfired on him because, you know, people kind of took her side. You know, that he was looked at like this as like this rapper, this black guy that's a rapper. They actually used Jeannie Mai to try to cross over. That, you know, like I said, even though she's Asian, she still got white skin. So it backfired on him. Why you didn't marry an actual black woman? We've held him down for years. Yeah, we did. He had I think his daughter was with a black woman that was still holding him down. You know, when Jeannie Mai was tarnishing his image because it backfired on him, he had to go back to his baby's mother, who was a black girl, and get her to put out statements talking about what a loving man and father he was. Okay, so that's normally how it happens. Okay, what they'll do is, you know, I don't mean no harm because I don't have no issues against interracial relationships. I think people should be with who they love. Um, but here's the thing about it with black men. Black women, I mean, white women will annihilate black men. Okay, and play innocent. I was in a situation where this guy that I had been talking to had been with a white woman for a while. Okay, should have stayed with her. Okay, back with her. And the situation didn't work out. The white woman started calling me immediately. I recorded all the conversations because she told me I could. Okay, she told me I could record them. Cause I don't, you know how them white women do it. Okay. And in the situation, in the I started sometimes when you get curious about stuff, because you get to think about, why is this person consistently calling me? Most women gonna listen, okay, for a little while to try to see. I'm an investigator by profession, so I have to try to see. I dissect stuff. Never said a word. That's why I recorded the motherfucking conversations. Okay. And she told me I could, and my kids and my sister was there when she said I could. So if she lied and said that she didn't say it, they're the proof. Okay. And so, but I listened to that white woman. Hey, it's more how she annihilated that black Negro. Okay. On down, she was there with him when his kids was little, and she talked about the motherfucking kids just like I wasn't a black woman. This bitch got bumps all over her lips, come out the trailer park, working at the damn Waffle House, ain't shit. And and like my mama said, we can understand the energy of her talking about his ass, his no good ass. But I couldn't get over the fact, bitch, that you would talk about his kids like that. His kids are on welfare. They're on welfare, and his kids, a couple of them really liked this lady because she had them food. Living off of the government because he didn't raise them right. It's one thing. So, but the thing about some black men is they will try and destroy a black woman. I'm going to air her out. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Because a white woman plays innocent. That lady had gotten that man fired off of jobs. Said she did it. I got to know his bosses because he was cheating on money. And I told his bosses this and that. Got him fired off of 2 jobs. I went over his supervisor head to the district. Told him he wasn't doing what he was supposed to do. Okay. Talked about his mama. His mama is accomplished. Better than she'll ever be. She's the reason he's like that. Okay. But when it came to a black woman, tried to destroy a black woman for that white hoe that had talked about his kids, got him fired off his job, got his ass sent to jail, messed his record up, and bragged about it. He ain't getting no job. I got his ass sent to jail. Then turn around and say, she didn't know that I was going to go to jail. He's a fucking buck. I get mad every time I think about it. You motherfucker, you thought you was going to destroy me, and that white woman is your fucking karma, you bitch. Okay? It was so bad, I was letting my mama listen to the conversation, the recording. My mama said, how could you listen to that white cow? You still a black girl. So here's the thing. Okay, a lot of these black men feel like because these white women freak them up and down, they give them a little money. But bitch, you put them in the situation. That's just like the slave masters do. I'll get you fucked over, but I'll give you just enough to keep you down. She said, he needed me for everything. He needed me for everything. He depended on me for everything. Okay. My thing is, how you gonna talk about the kids, his daughters? Okay, they're on welfare. One of them loved her, was confiding in her, and she was talking about it to me. Okay. She's probably pregnant again, and she's still not married and get ready to be on welfare, getting more government assistance, just like a mama. But bitch, you sitting up married, hoe, and you still ain't divorced. But that black nigga try to destroy a black woman. They'll try to destroy black women for that. Okay, that's their karma. Okay, and so black women hold them down, but they like men like that, like weaker vessels. Okay, that know how to play weak. Because my thing is, I don't want nobody down so that I can control them, bitch. I want you on your feet so you can help me. I don't want to be your handler. Okay, keep you depressed and on medicines and all the time. Okay, all the time. I was listening to her. She said, I made him get on mental meds. I said, why? Because his temper was too bad. I said, oh, okay. Yeah, just in case something happens. So bitch set it up because her sons hate him because they racist. Made the motherfucker get on mental meds so that if they ever kill him or his sons ever kill him, she could say he got a history of beating me. Because that's the first thing she said. He beats the shit out of mine. It's already on documentation. And bitch, I done put him on mental meds. So ain't nothing gonna happen. My son's gonna walk free, and I am too if I throw another knife at his ass and stab him and kill him. Okay? But they'll go out of their way for that. You know why? Because they let them do whatever they want to do to him in bed. She sucked a black man dick. You know, I could get all into that, but I won't. I just had to put that out there. Since folks want to talk about, want to constantly put stuff out there, I can put it all out. Okay? Because I told them to leave me alone. Because I don't do nothing to nobody. It's a whole lot of shit that I haven't said. Because I just don't want to say. Okay? Because I don't bother nobody. Jenny Mike getting all that child support. Jenny Mike got quite a bit of his money. But they'll try and destroy a black woman that was just trying to help them. I got the type of approach because I'm aggressive. I ain't no victim. I had to speak to her because I had to see the extent of the damage and what the motherfucker was capable of. That's just the investigator in me. But she had this motherfucker sitting up talking about he was getting ready to try and destroy me. That's what he was talking about for that white woman. Like she had destroyed him. Then she lied to him. All types of shit he put out on me. She called every woman that was in my phone. Use a motherfucking lie, bitch. You know that white woman had your phone records. She was telling me who you was talking to. I ain't sorry enough to go through nobody's damn phone because I don't care. Okay. But this is the type of shit that they do. And I'm thinking about some shit that some that happened yesterday. That's the reason why I'm mad. I'm blazing today because these bitches gonna leave me alone. And these damn bucks feel like because these white women laying up with them that they ain't racist. Bitch sit up and sister and everybody's a piss poor black man. Husband even said it. How you gonna talk about his motherfucking daughters? Because one of his daughters I really liked. How you gonna talk about his daughters being single mothers and on welfare? Bitch, you married and you laid up living with a damn man, bitch. But this white woman thinks she better to talk about his daughters and then tell him with his buckish ass, well, I just want it better for your daughters. These black men think because these white women lay up with them and lick on their ass and lick them up in their assholes and all of that, they carries diseases and give it to them, and then make these bucks think that they gave it to them. I'm the black one. I'm dirty, so I gave it to her. The bitch already had it. Okay. And I'm just talking about in general. But then they'll try and destroy a black woman that's getting it out the mud, trying to build a legacy for her children, for herself, to prove to that white woman, see, I was a good nigga. Anytime a motherfucker ain't got no loyalty to their own kids, they'll do anything. Cause can't nobody talk about mine. And I like them. That's one of the reasons why when my daughter's dad said to me, why you just give me a hard time? I said, bitch, you didn't do right by my child. My loyalty is to my daughter. She mine too. I love her. I said, but you didn't do right by her because you was mad at me. I rise with my kids. Ain't no white woman, white man, black man, or nothing ever good enough. I don't put white folks in high places like some of these niggas do. They even think they better than they damn kids. Okay? But anyway, y'all, I ain't getting on here to talk about that. I just had to let that steam out. I done told these motherfuckers to leave me alone. Leave me alone. Okay, just go on. I don't bother nobody. I do my thing. I hop on my train rides. I do what I want to do. I don't bother nobody. Okay. Now just go on. Okay. But yeah, Jeannie Mai, she got a great piece of that. Okay. And there are a lot of interracial couples that do extremely well together. Shout out to them. But I think it's a difference because a lot of white women that date black men, not all of them, they're very intimidated by black women. Okay. And so it is insulting to them when they go and cheat on them. They think with a black woman. He said he didn't even like black women. Bitch, he got a black mama and black daughters. What are you talking about? Because now I'm the great white hope. Right? And so what happened is they will make them, because they're so jealous of black women, they'll make a buck who ain't shit. Ain't worth the black on their damn skin. It's embarrassing. Try and you prove to me, because I'm looking at her, I know she better than me. You better prove to me you buck. You better try and destroy her. I want you to do it, buck. If you ever want me to come back and give you crumbs. And them bucks will try and do it. Y'all know what a buck is, right? They created them on a slave farm, okay? And the master's wives love to go sleep with the bucks, okay? And so they would make the bucks mate with other slave women to try and create big, bulky babies. That's how dirty they was. But the master's wives love to go and make the bucks sexually take care of them that was out on the slave farm. That's why when most men, I don't mean no harm, when they have dated white women, I really steer clear of them because they're mentally screwed up. You have to send them back to the fucking slave farm, okay? Anyways, I digress. Now I done said my piece. You better leave me alone. Okay. Because it's a lot of other shit that I ain't said, and I ain't got to say it. I'll just get on this motherfucker and play it. Let her voice be heard saying it. Okay. Anyways, y'all, make sure y'all hit that like button, okay? Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe. All right. But what I wanted to talk about this morning is don't jump down off of your high horse to throw slop with pigs. Okay. She's Tequila says Jeezy is non-committal. He was engaged to Mai first and married Jeannie. I blame him. He ran back to the sisters after he left the black woman baby mamas. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Jeannie Mai would get on the show and talk about how what she was doing to Jeezy in bed and all of that. And to me, that would have been devastating to me, because I don't ever want anybody that I'm with, let alone especially my husband, talking about how he pleased me in bed and how I please him. That would be totally devastating. There's just some things that you just don't talk about, okay? That you just don't talk about, okay? Anyways, y'all, don't come down off of your high horse to throw slop with pigs. I know sometimes it's real hard to avoid conflict, right? We go about our lives. We get into situations with people, and sometimes it just don't work out, right? A lot of times if you leave things alone, right? If it don't work, you could leave it alone. You never know what could happen in the future once you've gotten your head and stuff right, once situations are better. But when you try and destroy people, especially good people, there is just no way that anything is totally destroyed. Okay. It's totally destroyed. Sometimes people can walk away from friendships, whether it's family or anything. You could just walk away from it amicably. Okay. But when you start trying to throw tomatoes at people and trying to destroy people because you want to prove a point to other people, y'all, that's the worst type of thing to do. Simply because you trying to prove a point to somebody else. That's messed up on a whole nother level. Okay. That's messed up on a whole nother level. But don't jump down off of your high horse to throw tomatoes with people, because all people want to do is get you in the slop with them. When they're in the quicksand, in the mud and stuff, and they're sinking, a lot of times they want you to jump down. A lot of times we be trying to take the high road, okay? Because we all deal with things differently, okay? Just because I don't talk about it or I'm able to function, it don't mean that something didn't affect me. Okay. It's just that I choose to deal with it this way because I'm very in tune with my mental state. I mean, you can't have two damn fools running around, right? You can't allow people to mess with your mental state, especially when you're trying to build something. So it's always best to stay on your high horse and take the high road, right? So that you can keep yourself in a position that you're able to function while you're trying to build something. Okay. So if I get off of my high horse, if I start throwing slop with you, now I'm off of my game. I'm trying to build this. I'm trying to build relationships. You people watching. Okay. And I'll start losing other relationships because folks go, this person is crazy. So now you're destroying or you're losing whatever it was that you was focused in on, because whatever you focus on, that's what's going to grow. So that's why I say stay focused on the right thing. Okay. said good morning, Leo, and to Tequila. So stay focused on the right thing, but you can't build nothing when you're consistently looking back, when you're consistently trying to fight. And you have to be careful about who you allow into your life. You could deal with people and their shortcomings and their flaws and all that they got going on and say, this right here, it just ain't working right now. I got to preserve what I got, the storm I just came out of, because we're all either going through a storm, just coming out of a storm. I'll say this all the time. I'm just coming out of one. Because when my daddy passed away, who was my business partner, my road dog, I went through a real bad emotional type situation. Okay. So I just got to the point this year where I just started coming up out of that. And when you know you've been through hell mentally, when you lose somebody, and you just getting to a point where you're starting to care about things again, especially what you had going on, you're ready to pick up the pieces because you lay it down. And I'm ready to reconstruct this. I'm ready to build this. You need people in your life and around you that's not going to drain you. Okay? But people that care enough about you to encourage you or help you to build it, right? And so that's why I talk about you have to be careful when you are a giver, because I'm a giver. I give love, okay, until I feel like somebody is trying to take advantage of it. I'm getting to a point now, because it used to be when I saw that people weren't right, I cut off all relationships, I cut off all ties, and I still know how to do that to an extent now, because I used to get on my platform and really just go in. But now I'm learning what my mother had always said, you know what, when you know people ain't right, you have to know how to deal with them. Okay. All right. You don't have to let people know how you feel about them all the time. Okay. Just know how to deal with them. Just know what you're dealing with, right? He says people use your triggers against you. Whoever angers you controls you. Absolutely. That's absolutely it. Whoever angers you controls you. And so I'm just getting to a point where I where I'm starting to pick those things back up again. Pick up where I left off 2 years ago. Don't y'all know I had put some things down? Like I was barely able to do my TV show. I was barely able to. I was over my dad's organization. I'm starting to pick those things up. So I'm a giver. I like to give love. I like to give ideas. I'm just one of those ones, and I have to watch myself, because a lot of times people can see that you're full of everything, right? And what they want to do is they want to come around and try and use you. And so that's why you have to be in tune to your spiritual self, because you'll know when you're dealing with a drainer, a taker, because you'll start to feel drained, right? You'll start to feel drained. Dog, they just, because they ain't replenishing you. They come to suck the life out of you. They are energy vampires, okay? They come to suck the life out of you. And so that's why I gotta give, hey, God sent people into your life. I remember in the very beginning when my dad was sick, I started losing, because I was like, dog, God, I know you're not gonna put me on this journey by myself. I'm talking about this journey of building. My dad was my comfort zone. He was my funder. He was the person that had my back. He dealt with everybody. He told me things to say. He would always have things laid out for me. Okay, well, I know this person, they're going to give you this and this. I've already called them. All you got to do is go and meet with them. We're good friends. I've helped them out before. They're going to do whatever it is that you ask. My dad had all that laid out for me, right? And so what I did was I built relationships, because I'm not a real big people's person, because I'm shy and reserved, really. I built relationships off of the back of my dad. So my dad would deal with the people, and I found myself, I was like, dog, I'm so not a people's person. Now I got to try to deal with these people and build relationships on my own. And so when I was going through, when my father he first got sick instantly, it just went down instantly. Okay. I had a I was talking to at that time Dima all the time, right? And sometimes things happens in relationships, and hey, I still feel the exact same way about her. But when whatever happened in that relationship, God has Diane has been there for me consistently, right? And I have to ask myself sometimes, God, I hope I'm not, because I'm an introverted person. I'm so suspicious of everybody. When you find somebody that you can talk to and just pour out to, it's always a beautiful thing, because they're able to give it to you from a different standpoint. Because I could tell my mother everything, but there's certain things I don't want to talk about with my mom. That's why you have to cherish relationships when God send people into your life that you can talk to. And I don't have to worry about Diane getting on here and repeat nothing that we ever talk. People don't know what we talk about. And I talk about some deep stuff with her. You'll never know she don't throw out hints or anything like that. Okay. And I've been talking to her for months and months and months. And not one time has she ever thrown out a hint about anything that we've ever talked about. Okay. So when God sends people into your life, people have it really bad about betrayal. I just don't deal with I don't deal with betrayal. And I'm a rider, y'all. I am. That's why I don't have many friends, because I'm such a giver. I'm such a rider. Okay. And so you have to be very careful about who you pour your energy out to, because people will suck up your energy. They ain't gonna replenish you. They will drain you, come to you to try and drain you so that they can take it back and be useful on the slave farm with the slave master's wife. Okay? Or master. Okay? And so that's why I love the scripture where it says, do not cast your pearls to swine. So some people are so full of gifts, and people come and drain them and take from them. Okay? And then they'll get mad when the person say, "Listen, I'm tired. You training me. What? Listen, what's going on? Don't question me. Just let me drain you. I don't owe you nothing, but I want your gifts." A lot of you so gifted, you have such a light on your life. People just start to be blessed. And so you have to be very meticulous. I was talking about witchcraft, about who you allow in your life, because more people either deal in witchcraft or they deal with people that deal in witchcraft. And even if they don't deal in witchcraft, and they dealing with folks that's praying to the full moons, and I will let you know, I go and I see a spiritual advisor. They call themselves getting these spells and stuff. You'll find yourself, if you allow that person, even if they're not, they've been connected to those types of people. That's why you have to have a real strong praying life before you know it, things will start happening. Okay. They wishing bad luck on you. I'm sorry, I had to blow my nose. Okay. They wishing bad luck on you, praying on you, going and seeking. Me and Demont ain't never ever seen each other in person, Deidre Dee. So what are you talking about? Deidre Dee, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. I ain't never tried to eat no woman. Okay, I ain't got nothing against gay people, but I've never tried to eat no woman. But I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Me and Demon has never met each other in real life. Okay. I mean, we've never met each other in person. So what are you talking about? Okay. So what are you talking about? So I already know that you're some fool. Okay. If I was gay, I would say it. I'm not. I loves dick. And I loves it real good. Okay. Never in my life ain't no woman ever even came on to me. Shout out to because I have women in my chat and men in my chat that are gay. Ain't that ain't no motherfucking word that's going around, bitch. Use a motherfucking plant from another channel, hoe. But I heard, do your husband let you eat his motherfucking dick though, bitch? Do your husband let you eat his motherfucking dick? If he did, you wouldn't be around here capping or caping for another motherfucking man though with your hoe. But what you need to do is you need to stay up out my chat because you're gonna make it bad. You're gonna make it bad for the other person. That ain't no motherfucking word that's going around. No, but you should have asked me, am I messing with your daddy? That's why he don't never have no money. It might be your daddy, bitch. Let your mammy know that hoe if the bitch still alive. You come in my motherfucking chat, you gonna make me throw a bomb at your master who you caping for, bitch. Okay. Come into my chat with that shit. And so we already know what channel that is. But what he needs to do is he better put that bitch on a leash. Bitch, you supposed to be in St. Louis with your motherfucking husband, hoe. You supposed to be in St. Louis with your motherfucking husband, hoe. Why you in my chat with fake names? Okay? If I was, bitch, I'd tell you. If I was, bitch, I'd tell you. If I was, bitch, I'd tell you if I was. Okay? Now what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to make another page, Deidre Didi. We running this today. You're gonna have to go make another page. Demon ain't told you no mess like that. Demon ain't gay, bitch. I ain't gay either, hoe. But y'all, this is the type of stuff that they do. Okay. This is the type of stuff that they do. Now, what you do is you're gonna make you another page. And when you come in here with that page, we gonna black that one. I know you was hoping that I was gay. Probably because you looking at me. But bitch, you can keep looking, hoe. Because I'm strictly dickly. Okay. Oh, it could be the girl that I had sent to jail. Okay. Maybe it's you because it sounds like it might be you. When you fresh up off your meds, that's what you do. See, I had to have you sent to jail before because you let Onan send you out to be harassing me. Okay. I can understand why you was constantly sending me over 500 emails harassing me, and the judge didn't either because bitch, I didn't know you. Okay. But I didn't play with you either. You better find you something safe to do. Okay. You need to find you something safe to do before you end up back in jail. It's early morning. You used to harass me early mornings on them emails, and you fresh up off them. You better go take your meds. Okay. Anyways, you guys, yeah, that's right, y'all. Don't let me. Okay. That did something to me. She woke up to bother folks and didn't even have coffee. I'm telling you, ain't wash your face, your ass, ain't brush your teeth. You come up in here meddling with some crap. Anyways, you guys, but let me get back to that. Don't let people throw you off your game. You see how easy it is? Don't let people throw you off your game, because when you are a giver, okay, when you are a giver, people will take, take. Okay? People will take. And they won't replenish you, right? And they won't replenish you. That's why you have to have the right type of people and the right type of energies around you, right? Um, hey, I'm working on this thing called forgiveness. Hey, everybody have their own issues. I don't forgive people. When people hurt me, it's really hard for me to forgive them, because it's hard for me to open up to people, to let them close to my heart. I've been burned so much, it's really hard. So if I open up and I let you in my personal space, I let you close to my heart, and then you turn around and hurt me and try and destroy me, that's, to me, that's unforgivable. Okay, my New Year's resolution since 2000, and I've gotten counseling for this, okay, has been to forgive. That's one of those vices that I have. That's something I constantly pray about. God, please give me a forgiving heart. Y'all, I love people. When I love people, I love them so hard. I love them so much. I do. I'm very protective and territorial of them. That's why I say I'm a good person. If you can deal with my little crazy personality, because I have mood swings, because I have a lot going on in my life every day. So it ain't even a mood swing. Some days I just have to be by myself to regroup. Right? It's not acting funny. But when I love people, I love them for real. I'm a rider. You can't get to them through me. I'm very protective of them. I might fuss a little bit, but you ain't get ready to do nothing to them. Wait a minute, that's mine. You can't get to that. I might get mad and say something about them, but you just listen. You don't say nothing back, because I'm gonna be mad at you. That's my those are my people. And so when that is not reciprocated, I don't feel like I'm protected. Okay, I don't feel like that I'm if I don't get that back, I have issues with that. And so I think that's one of the reasons why I'm a loner, because I don't know how not to give a lot. I don't know how to not give a lot of love. It ain't no, well, I'm gonna just give you a little bit of love. No, I'm giving you a burst of love. I don't know how to hold back when I decide that I'm gonna do it. And so people say, well, you just like night and day. No, I gotta learn how to, I just got to learn how to do things differently, because I give a burst of love, and some people don't know how to give love back. They just don't. They just know how to take. And when I identify that, then I have to cut you off. And people say, "What happened?" I didn't see it reciprocated. Some people know how to pace their love. I don't. I don't. I just know how to give love. So when folks say, "Well, what's wrong with you?" Well, they didn't reciprocate it. You didn't reciprocate that. Maybe that's my fault, okay? But you just didn't do it. And so I had to cut you off. And my cutoff game is on fleek. It's on fleek. I've learned how to protect myself. Okay? I've mastered that. I've learned how to protect myself. Neo says, Miss T, that's a Leo thing. We love hard and we don't love hard or no love at all. Okay. Chat Town Founder says my circle stays small. Mine too. That's why when I get really good friends, people can say what they want to about Vanessa. One of the reasons that me and Vanessa, because I had a friend that grew up in the same projects with me and Vanessa in Clementine. She became my best friend when I was 10. Vanessa had been my best friend since I was 5. And when they would spend the night with me, she would too. But we parted ways because she had a jealous spirit. And as we got grown, she still carried that jealous spirit. I knew that God was taking me somewhere, and I couldn't have women around me that was jealous hearted. Okay. Vanessa is still my friend to this day because Vanessa is a hustler. She ain't jealous hearted, and Vanessa is a motherfucking rider. Do you hear me? When I was in high school, Vanessa had moved to Las Vegas. And I remember she would call home and she would call and talk to me. We would still talk on the phone. And she would call home. And I remember telling her, I was like, I was working this Checkers, okay? Was it Rallies? I was working one of those fast food chains, trying to pay for my senior heads because I wanted everything. Because my dad was like, I'm gonna give you a certain amount. And you could get this, and that, your pictures, but I ain't gonna buy all that other stuff. So I wanted everything. And I remember Vanessa called home. She said, well, I'm gonna start sending you some money home. She helped me pay for my senior heads. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I really, growing up, me and Vanessa always called each other cousins. Okay, we got the same last name. We always called each other cousins. I clarified on here, but anybody else, like all of her boyfriends, all of my boyfriends and stuff, everybody, we always said we was cousins. And when you've been friends with somebody since you was 5 years old, she was the first friend I remember having in the kindergarten because we lived in the same complex. When you've been friends with somebody since you was 5, that is family. Her mother still calls my mama to this day and talk. That's over 40 years of friendship. Okay. And so when I start to meet, because loyalty is extinct. Loyalty is very extinct these days. And so when you start to she said that stinking bee don't come in here with that bee. I'm here. That's right. When they come in here with that mess, just go ahead. That's somebody that is LGBTQ, okay, or whatever they call it. And they be wanting you to be that. If I was, I wouldn't hide it. I'd be representing for the LGBTQ. I would if I was LGBTQ. But what I do is I represents for, hey, and I don't have no issues with LGBTQ. But I've never had thoughts of being with a woman. I don't want to be with a woman. When I'm in a relationship with a man and it don't, and especially if it don't end right, I don't have thoughts of being with another woman. I have thoughts of going to jump on top of another man's ick. Okay. Ick with a D. Okay. That's how I do it around here. All right. I hope I got that straight. Okay. Ask my friend, I don't know what kind of category we in right now. Okay, because he's my ex-boyfriend, but we just took a train ride to New Orleans. Ask him. Okay. What's a beefcake, Chat Town? He said, Tamara, keep loving the beef. What's a beefcake? Is that a man? Hey, Anissa. And so, anyway, should I say, hey, y'all, I was in the other chat, but I blocked whoever the hater was. Thank you. So were they in the so did they come in from the other channel? ZK, did that person come in from the other channel? It's something about when I'm like doing encouraging, people want to come in with their mess, but I rebuke that person in the name of Jesus. You better be very careful because when I say I rebuke you, don't go get in your car and have a wreck. Okay. When you come in here trying to mess with me. All right. Anissa, I looked in the block list and you're not blocked. Your name is not in my block list. Okay. Oh, okay. As long as that's what it is, okay. And so you guys, um, just be very mindful of who you because more and more people are jealous. If they think you're gonna have something or have an advantage over them, they go crazy. You can't even tell people what you have these days. You can't tell them anything because they'll go crazy. And if they can't have it, they will try and ruin you having it. So that's why, you have to keep on the whole armor of God. People are coming in and be in the bushes looking at this show based on this show, and we have fun on here, and they'll try and size you up. There how she is. You don't even know me. They'll try and judge you based on that. I used to see people out all the time, like especially when I was doing my TV show on the regular. Now, just I've been running reruns. I'm getting ready to start back doing it. I've been recording some shows with some people to start back airing it. Because when my dad passed away, I almost just gave it up. I almost gave it up. And so when people would see me out, they would go, you're the girl, you're Tamra. Remember you were saying this, and this, and this, and that on your show. And I'm like, I don't remember. I don't remember. Sometimes people don't know how to separate your personality from from your true character, right? Because if I'm real quiet and reserved. I've always been real shy and quiet and reserved, right? So if you ever see me out somewhere, you probably ain't gonna get a whole lot of talking out of me because I'm very observant. I'm real shy, and I'm gonna get in a corner and be real reserved. That's how I've always been, right? That's my auntie's my uncle's wife was saying one time. She said that she was talking to a girl that looked at my TV show on Comcast, and the girl was saying something, talking about Tamara funny. She's so funny. I know she be out. She said, I told her aunt, when you see Tamara, she gonna get somewhere and be in a corner, get in a corner somewhere and ain't gonna talk because that's how I've always been, right? Unless people start talking to me first. But people misjudge you, and then they're dedicated to misunderstanding you also, right? I think people, you have to learn to meet people where they are, if they are worth meeting them where they are. Some people ain't worth being in your life. They ain't even worth your time. Okay? Um but if they're worth it and you see that there's a dedication, and sometimes people really want to be better. They just don't know how. And so when God send people like that into your life, and you know that they are appreciative and they really want that, why not be a blessing to them? Sometimes you have to meet people where they are. They're real good people. They just don't know any better, right? They just don't know any better. And so you learn to meet them where they are and love them where they are. And then oftentimes things turn out good in the end, right? And then there are some that you regret the day you ever even saw them. Okay. And the thing about God is so awesome. when it's not right for people to be in your life, you don't have to wait no 10 or 15 years to know it. God will start to show you that stuff right off. We will ignore it, but God will start to show you that stuff right off. I've been doing this show that I'm going to. I've been interviewing a lot of the leaders and a lot of the pastors and a lot of like business owners around the city of Memphis, right? And when I start my show back up, that's something that I'm going to I'm going to air it on Comcast, right? Well, I'm just going to start putting them in the slots on Comcast. And I decided and I think I've gotten this from somewhere else, but it's called Her Story and His Story, right? His story, like history, her story and his story. And I was interviewing this pastor last weekend that someone recommended to me. I'm not gonna give away who it is, but he has a really, really, really big church. And after I interviewed him, praise the Lord, hey, I listen, God is good. He's decided he wanted to put his services on Comcast. Lord, I sure thank you for that. And he wanted to buy some airtime from me, but I sat there and I talked to him like over an hour after we stopped filming, right? And he was talking about how he had been married to this, just got a divorce after 38 years. And he said, you know, I feel like I got to start over. I'm in my late 60s, and I asked God, you know, being a pastor, and you know, I was letting him talk. I could tell he's hurt. And he said his wife had told him in the very end that he said, I gave her everything. She just told me in the end that she just didn't want this. He said she was causing trouble in the church. He said, God blessed me with this big church, even in the smaller churches. But what I was going to say is a good thing about it is God will show you when people are not supposed to be in your life. And even though he's a pastor, he is still a human being. And what he was saying, and I don't know if he recognized or realized he was saying it, he was saying that he was kind of saying, I overlooked this, I overlooked that. That means God was showing him he didn't have to be married to that woman for no 38, 39 years. He could have cut her at the knees years ago. Okay. But oftentimes we overlook stuff and keep ourselves in storms that we ain't even got to be in because it's familiar or because it's a good look or because this person helped me more than anybody else. You'll find if you totally cut them people off, if you need, you'll be able to help yourself more because your mind will be clear. Folks are always looking for, I think that's why I'm so self-sufficient. I pray all the time so I can be. If you tell God, God, give me what I need, the wisdom to help myself. And once I start helping myself, you'll run me into blessings and to other people that can help me while I'm helping myself and carrying myself to ascend to another dimension, to drop a nugget and all of that. But what I notice is people are so used to being dependent on other folks so much. They'll say, well, God, send me somebody that's gonna help me, that's gonna carry me. Carry yourself. Carry yourself. Ask God to give you the strength. God, give me the strength to carry myself. And it starts with speaking life into yourself. Words. It's just as easy as that. If you start speaking life into yourself, you'll see how your mindset will change and your body gonna follow. But we always wanted somebody to be dependent on somebody else, to be that crutch for them to carry us, when we need to ask God, give me the strength I need to carry myself, and then run me into your earth angels. I just got that from somebody that was in my chat that said that was an earth angel. Run me into my earth angel, okay, that can give me a word or direct me on another path, because we all have to have some type of help from people that is higher than us, right? So that I can then go down that road and be successful. And then if I just need help, you send me another angel, And if that angel is there just for a season, let me get everything that I'm supposed to get. And when that season is up, hey, you got to tell God, God, allow me to know when seasons are up. Because people will come into your life and they'll help you. And then they'll say, okay, this right here, this is my stop right here. You're going to have to walk this out. You're going to have to thug this on out until you meet another angel on that path. Some people get stuck at them crossroads because they're not self-sufficient. They don't know how to let go. Well, no, I got to figure it out for myself. Hell, you old as Methuselah. You better figure it out for yourself. If you are in your 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s and you still sitting up talking about somebody, you looking for somebody to help you figure it out, it's something you is retarded. Okay? It's something wrong with you. Especially if you able-bodied and intelligent. You can walk, you can see, you can talk, you got a mind, you in your right mind, you intelligent. Then there's something wrong with you. Okay? But sometimes, ladies, I think I talk about this all the time. When I worked for the police department, I sure thank God. People can say what they want to about me, but I ain't never been no hoe. Okay? That's why I ain't ashamed to talk about nothing that I do. I remember when I was working for the police departments, God always placed me next to the head person. I always had issues with women. Why? I don't know. I wasn't a gossiper. I was real quiet. People are afraid of what they don't understand. I'm going to tell you something. Folks feel like if you go to work and be quiet, that you ain't going to have no problems. That's when you have the most problems because, number one, people want to know your business. When they don't know what you're thinking or you don't tell them, they become intimidated by that. And if you don't give them nothing to talk about, they're going to be mad about that. Okay? So that's when they start making up shit on you. They'll be in the bushes on here. Okay? Trying to figure you out because you don't give them anything. Okay? And so, and oftentimes they'll misjudge you because you don't really know a person. I don't care how you get on here and listen to them. You don't really know a person unless you're around them all day, every day. And you don't really even know them then because people tell you what they want you to know and they let you see what they want you to see. Okay? But I remember when I was working for the police department, I always worked around the guys with higher rank. And I remember when I was working for the police chief, I knew at that point how vulnerable men with power is. Unfortunately, some women don't know when God places you next to the king, and the king can be anybody with the power. It's anybody with power, the king or the queen. God didn't put you there to be sleeping with them because they're the most vulnerable and they will respect you. If you ain't flirting with them, talking about sex with them, joking about sex with them, that puts them in a position where they have to respect you. Okay? And so I think I spoke about this and it's funny because another lady had prophesied. I used to go to churches because I was trying to find myself. And one of these old mothers had prophesied this to me. She's like, you got a lot of favor on your life, and God is going to always do this, this, and that. When God put you in position, understand it ain't for you. It's to bless other people. And I always kept that with me, right? And I was burned quite a bit because I felt like I was supposed to just help everybody. If I got the ear of the king, I'm supposed to bless everybody. You can't bless everybody. You can't even have contact with everybody, right? But I always knew that if I was there, it was to suck up wisdom, to learn some stuff, okay? And then if asked something, it was to bless other people and not to dig ditches and graves for other people. That's how I was able to survive. And so when one of those women, might have been a lieutenant, or it might have been a lieutenant, or it might have been um a chief, I mean a lieutenant or a major or something, if they had issues with me, I had the heart of the king, which means the person that was over them, I had a lot of favor with them. So they couldn't touch me. How you gonna try to do something to me and I got favor with the chief that's over you? So they ain't gonna let you touch me. And so those are the types of things that God will do for you when you do things right. Some people feel like if they are next to the person with the power, they want to use their power to try to hurt other people. And so what you ultimately do is, what's going to happen is, because God got his people everywhere, and when you messing with people, you don't know the ranking of that person in the spiritual realm. You don't know how their ancestors have prayed for them and what kind of covenant they got with God. So their life is already blessed by default. Okay, their great grandmamas that they never even knew had already prayed, God bless my lineage, protect them, keep them, this and that, bless them, make them wealthy, create generational wealth, keep them from the hands of the enemy. No weapon formed against them shall prosper. Any lying tongue that rises up against them will be condemned. These are prayers that their great grandmamas and granddaddies have prayed. That's why you see people jacked up, and you go, how they still blessed? They blessed by default. You don't know the ranking of that person in the spiritual realm when you putting your damn mouth on people. Okay? So you think you're going to use the power of the person that's in charge to try and hurt them. And the next thing you know, the person that's in charge has gotten into some type of scandal. They got to step down or they've been fired. It's because they got the wrong people around them. That's why I say that people with power are vulnerable. Okay? So you put the wrong people around you. You listen to the wrong people. You got folks that are already covered in prayer. You think you're going to step in and use that person's power to hurt them? No, you get ready. This get ready to be a whole new regime, because God got his people praying everywhere. And before you know it, you back down at the bottom trying to hide up under a rock. When you was up there with the top people, you didn't know how to do it right. Right? And so I remember this one time I was listening to the chief. Okay. He had he was getting ready to fire a whole class of recruits. They had just came out of the academy. And I was sitting in there, I was listening to the HR person, and some of them lieutenants came in there. See, it was a lot of young girls that had just came through that class. Okay, they had them apple bottoms. They looked good in their uniforms. Okay, they asses was old. Okay, and so I was listening to them, and it was a chief. We need to get rid of this class. They're just not getting it. And the lieutenant says that they don't understand this and that. And the chief said, see, what the chiefs have to do is they have these lieutenants and these majors and these captains in positions. These are their supervisors to report back to them, and they're hoping they're reporting the truth. Okay. And so if they all get together and concoct a lie and bring it to the chief, of course he's going to believe it. So I was listening to him, and he said, you sure? You know, and so they had the meeting, and the chief said, okay, all right. So they convinced him. He said, okay. He said, we're short, but I tell you what, after their 30-day probation, or their 6 months probation, I believe, their 6 months probation, we could get rid of them without any repercussions, because they're not covered by civil service or anything like that. It might have been a 6 months or a year or something like that at that time. And so I was listening. I remember I was in the cafeteria, and that class walked in, and I told, I was standing up there. I told one of the recruits, I said, come here, young man. I said, y'all got a meeting at 1:00. He said, yeah, yes, ma'am. You know, they have to say yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I said, have the FTO officers, those are the training officers. I said, have they been teaching y'all everything? And he said, well, yes, ma'am, I guess. I said, well, let me tell you something. I said, I said, well, I want you to get your classmates together. When I tell you this, I want you to go tell all your classmates, because God had allowed me to hear the conversation. I worked in the chief's office. I said, this is what I want you to do. I said, when the chief asks you all, have you have the field train, if the training officers, since you've been on post, have you all, they've been training you, right? I said, I want you to say this. They trained us one way in the academy and they training us another way since we've been here. So we are confused. Okay. I said, do you understand me? He said, yes, ma'am. I said, I want you to go tell all of your classmates that. Don't tell nobody else I told you this. But when the chief asks you, because he gonna ask you that, say they trained us one way in the academy and they training us another way here, and we are confused. When they got in that meeting, the chief said, "What? They confused. Y'all are not training them the way that they're supposed to be trained. Y'all trying to get them to cut corners and training them going off of the way y'all supposed to train them. I'm gonna put them on probation for another year. Y'all can't tell me God ain't got his people everywhere. That whole class was saved. It was not because it's because I'm not a grave digger. It was because I understood what those lieutenants and those majors and shit was trying to do. And God put me there to save them kids' lives, to save their livelihood. How the hell you going to put a man and a woman out of a job just because you jealous of them? Right? That's why I always tell y'all, I ain't no go along to get along type person. When I was on here and they was trying to come at me like that such and such just did with that lie. Because, bitch, if I was gay ho, I'd say it. Okay? These are the types of things that they throw at you when you got life, when you got a light on you. Okay? They'll throw lies and innuendos at you. They tried to do the exact same thing because they wanted the narrative of the Young Doss case to be a certain way. Bitch, I grew up in Memphis. Ho, how you think you gonna sway me and bully me? And some of these Memphians that was going along with it was embarrassing me. I'm straight up out of Clementine, South Memphis, bitch. We walked on glass barefoot up in there. How you think you gonna get on here and think you gonna bully me on a narrative that come up out of my motherfucking city, ho? Bitch, I'm working for the police department for 25 years, and you thought I knew all the folks that was involved in the case, getting all the information, partying with the police officers that made the scene and all that, and you thought you was going to bully me and get me to go along with your narrative? Hell no. That's why I stood 10 toes down and still do. Okay? And when they was putting all that stuff out, I let them Negroes eat. Yeah, they did this on the crime scene. Then when the coast was clear, okay? And then when the coast is clear, okay? When the coast was clear, I said, well, you know, my auntie husband works in crime scene. He was out there that day. And this is how it works in crime scene. They ain't never cleaned up nothing. They go out there to collect evidence and then they leave. I know Newton ain't went out there planting no evidence. But I let them have that, okay? Just because people don't like something you say don't mean you're always right. Protecting Raven is not it. Shaking my head. Well, evidently you don't like me. You mad at me because you claim I'm protecting Raven. What you trying to do is spew a narrative, Black Queen, because you feel like because I don't agree with what you say. So who's mad, me or you? You the one in here with that. You mad because I don't agree with you. So you need to tell that to yourself. Because if you was a real one, bitch, you say we can agree to disagree and push on. This is what I feel. This is what you feel. But you don't know how to do that because you's a bottom feeding hoe. Now you blocked off my channel, bitch. Okay? Because I'm going to give it to you. Don't you come up in here with that. See, what you need to do is you need to take your own advice. See, you feel one way and I feel another. Instead of saying, this is what I agree with, you came in here throwing the, you try to protect Raven because you don't feel like I want you to feel. Bitch, that's how you feel because you're mentally ill. Okay? But I tell you what, though, you gonna make another page and we gonna block you on that. We get ready to send you back to the crazy house today, ho. We runs this up in here. So when you go make another page, bitch, we gonna block you on that one. We gonna keep you making pages, bitch, because we running you because you mentally ill, ho. So go make another one and come in here because you bothered. Bitch, you bothered. I got you bothered early this morning, ho. So when you go make another page, bitch, I'm running this. I'm pulling the strings on this today. What we're gonna do is we're gonna block you on that one. And then, bitch, we're gonna make you go make another page and we're gonna block you on that one, bitch. We're gonna show you that you're mentally ill, and then you're gonna make another, we're gonna block you on that one until we send you back to the crazy house or you take your motherfucking meds, ho. That's how we do it up in here. I runs this motherfucker, okay? Okay. But you have to learn, okay? You have to learn that when God put you in positions to be a blessing, you got to know when to be a blessing, okay? You got to know when to be a blessing. And it ain't to destroy people, okay? It's not to destroy people. And so I get to thinking about some of these folks on here because I know that some of these people that's up early, what they do is they go and they make fake pay. They have an obsession with me. And I think it's an unhealthy obsession. Some of these men and women. Okay. And so what they do is they go and make it's something that's and they be in their 40s and 50s. Okay. They be in their 40s and 50s. And they don't understand that in order to be a troll on YouTube, because see, I got this one, Tamara 1 and Tamara 2. Okay. It's something unstable about making fake pages trolling. Okay. Bitch, you ain't even wash your ass or your face yet, and you up trolling. And so a lot of these folks got kids and grandkids, and they don't understand that it is a mental illness. Okay. And so I think the sad thing about social media, okay, is that people start running around they be running around here off of their meds, doing crazy things. Okay. They don't understand that it's not normal for adults to constantly make fake pages and troll. You know, you would think that's something that kids would do. That's what we used to do when I was in elementary school and junior high school. We found it so fun to call. It's just like calling, playing on the phone. Like when we were kids, remember we used to dial numbers and play on the phone and laugh about it when we had sleepovers. Those are the types of things that we did for fun. And so now this is another form, another way of doing it, except for you got old rust ass motherfuckers on here doing it, bitch. You need to be at the crazy house, okay? Because it ain't nothing normal about doing it when you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. Okay? It's something wrong with you. All right. Tracy says, Cypress, y'all was on one last night, man. I ain't laughed that hard in a long time. Okay. Okay. Y'all hit that like button for me. Make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe. Y'all, as the trolls come in, make sure y'all block them. Okay, just block them. They're not gonna stop me from giving my word today. Okay, they scared they're gonna be great. They scared that the word is gonna penetrate them, and if they ain't got YouTube to troll, they're gonna say, I ain't got no business being no troll, no old rusty troll. But what do I got? I might convict them, and then they have to think about, I ain't got nothing. I ain't shit. I ain't nobody. They're forced to look at themselves if they ain't got YouTube and they can't make troll pages. Okay. Anyways, y'all, make sure y'all hit that like button. Okay. Make sure you all hit the like button. Make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe. But y'all just ask God to bring the right types of people into your life, the right types of friendships, the right type of people, even with family members. I mean, family members are still human beings. I know they say, that we're bound by family and we're supposed to always get away from family. I mean, if you have if you have some toxic people in your family, then I would suggest that you protect your peace and get away from them. But I mean, if you're the outsider, if everybody in your family, if you say everybody, you got a big family and you got issues with everybody, it might not be the whole family now. You might sometimes might want to take a look at yourself. Okay. You might want to take a look at yourself. Somebody said that about me. Well, you be having problems with people. I said, no, people have issues when you decide this right here is not going to be good for me. This right here, that when you figure them out, see, it goes back to what I'm saying. I do cause problems for myself because I'm very open armed when it comes to people. You know what I'm talking about? I want to believe that everybody is like me. And so, I'm a giver and I try to help people. And then when I see folks ain't right, I cut them off. And so that's an issue for them. They try and cause problems to the point it makes me get up on my soapbox and start saying something about it. No, it ain't nothing wrong with me other than I loved you too quick. You was a motherfucking problem and I figured you out. And now I done cut you off and you want to make everybody think it's something wrong with me. Okay? That's how people would try and do you. Okay? That's how people would try and do you. And so that's why, you guys, we have to be very careful. I be hating to shut down. Yeah, right, you gotta love from a distance. I be hating to shut down because there was a time where I didn't let nobody in. I ain't want no friends. I ain't want nothing. I ain't let nobody in. And sometimes that could be a lonely journey when you're scared, afraid to trust people, to love people. So what you have to do is be wise. And out the gate, you might get the wrong person because people are on a journey now to take. They know how to watch you on social media and they be trying to size you up. Oh, this right here might be an easy one. They full of gifts. They be on a mission to take. So if you slip up and let the wrong one in, you don't shut back down. You just use that as a lesson and become wiser. That's it. Chattown says some people are miserable and misery loves company. Absolutely. Absolutely, you guys. Y'all hit that like button. And let me just say this. I don't have no issues with nobody. Okay. For the most part. Some people I just don't mess with. It's a difference in not liking you and just seeing you got character flaws. I just don't fool with you. That's it. People take that personally. You don't like me. No, I don't dislike you. I just don't mess with you. You got character flaws. You ain't nobody that I would have in my circle. So I ain't gonna dislike you, but I just don't mess with you. And people want to have a problem with that because they want to control you. You can't be mad at me because you ain't my cup of tea. Okay? People have a right. People have a right to change their minds. Okay? We might not like it, but people have a right to do that. You can't control people. They might go, well, I thought this is what I wanted, but I changed my mind. People have a right to do that. You can't do nothing but accept it and respect it. If you don't like it, stay away from it. But people have it bad about, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. There's a difference though, because I get to thinking about how some women are bad about doing it. I ain't never been one. About trying to buy people's love. Ladies, you can't buy nobody's love. You can set yourself up to be used. Okay? You could set yourself up to be used. One thing that I've learned, because I ain't never tried to buy no love, okay? Never. One thing that I've learned is whatever is meant to be is gonna be. Y'all, there truly is a God. Whether people want to believe it or not, there is a God. And as long as you are on your path, you can't miss what's for you. You can't miss it. That's why you see like husbands and wives, they get married, and sometimes they might get married too soon. They never divorce, and they be separated for years, and then the next thing you know, years later, they back together, or they'll divorce and get remarried years later. Sometimes you could get it too soon. What's for you, you can't miss it. That's what people don't understand. Now you could ruin it doing things you ain't supposed to do. But what's truly for you, if you let it flow, you can't miss it. I was just listening to one of your favorites this morning, the Canton Spirituals. This untreated mental health issues are real. Send their asses right on back to the. I'm telling you, DA. Send them right on back to the nut house. And we know now that mental illness is worse than it has ever been. With being on here, like, I mean, people have voices that tell them things. Being on here, people, I don't know. People have a lot of vices. Their mind tell them you've done things to them that you don't even be knowing anything about these folks. You did this to me. Somebody was telling me that someone had said that I did something to them, and I couldn't believe it. They said the person said that the person told them that I had called child services on them. I said, you got to be kidding me. Person said, no, I'm telling you. I said, you got to be kidding me. I don't even know that person like that. Don't know their child. Didn't even know they had no little kids. But these are the types of things that, like, you have to be very careful, because when you're dealing with stuff, you don't know how far people go. And that's why it's good to keep, when people see that stuff is not, when they're sane and they see stuff like that is not normal, they kind of tell you so you can keep stuff documented. You don't know how far people would go. It was a lady on here told me that own man was trying to get her to kill me. And I promised to God, when I went and filed a police report, at first I was fighting with it. I was like, this stuff ain't real. I know it. This right here is the internet. I cannot, I just don't. I was fighting with believing it. And I document everything with the police department. Okay. And so when the person kept telling me, and I started seeing how Onan kept getting worse and worse, his obsession, messing with me, I had to do it, right? It's some women that he was dealing with. These women that messed up, their livelihood's over. He had them doing some stuff on their jobs that's federal type illegal. Okay. And so I remember when I first when I filed a police report, I was sitting there, I was saying, I can't believe one of my friends was like, he worked for the police department. He's like, you should do it. I think you should have been did. He was like, what's wrong with you? I was like, I just can't wrap my mind around this. I don't know these people. Right. And he said, well, you're going to learn, like, mental illness is real on the internet. Like, people just look at you and you remind them of somebody from their past, and they'll decide, I don't like her, I just want to take her out. And so When I started filing some police reports on some of these people that was harassing me, when the officers would pull their history, and they would look at their history, even the ones that think that they've had some of this stuff expunged, the first thing they were saying was, "That's a good thing you did it. This man is dangerous." And so what I'm learning is that some of these men on here, they have um in their backgrounds, they have histories of like pedophilia. They think it's gone. Nothing is ever deleted with the police department. I don't care what you get expunged, it's always on file with the police department. It's just other people might can't see it, so you can get a job or something. But they have these sadistic type of appetites as it relates to sexual deviancy, and they have a hate for women and little girls. So that's why when you see them making fake pages, they'll put women that are mentally unstable on missions to come here just like that. You're part of the LGBTQ community. See, that's probably something that they fantasized about. You see what I'm talking about? And they get on here and they harass people to try. It's like the stuff is in their minds, one of their fantasies, and they'll get on here and they try and push that stuff, right? But they have these deviancies, these sexual type deviancies. And when you see some of these men, that's why I told y'all, I watched some of these men. It ain't normal for these men to be coming at these women like that. It ain't normal for somebody to be trying to figure out where you living at, who you are, paying people to pull your personal information. That's why the feds involved. I done told y'all don't believe me. I don't talk about it no more because I've been told not to. YouTube is the bus on YouTube gonna be way bigger than what they did on Backpage. I'm telling y'all, it's some stuff going on here. These people have set up on here, ain't even supposed to be on here. Okay, they so damn stupid. They so used to doing it, they don't think that they can be stopped. Probably been being watched for over a year. You never know. Okay, some of these women are so jealous of other women because they've been through hell. You have to watch women like that. They get with these men that are known predators. You would think women wouldn't even want to deal with men that have been predators as it relates to violating other women, with them being women and children. Okay, because some of them on here have messed with kids. They think I don't know it, but I do. Okay, and the police do. Okay, that ain't even supposed to be on YouTube. That's why I'm telling you, some stuff gonna go on YouTube. And but they'll get with these men to try and violate these women. When people are jealous of you, when they can't stop people from liking you, then they'll start trying to lie on you. Okay, that's that jealousy. So they'll get with these men that are predators, and they have everything to lose. They have their jobs, they have careers, they have mortgages and rent and car notes and all of that. Make these motherfuckers make them lose all of that because they violated policies on their jobs. Okay, but at the core of it, that's a damaged woman. That's why I don't take it lightly when women sit up and lie on men. There's a lady in Memphis right now. I don't understand how she was ever elected for anything. She's filed every man that she got mad at, that she messed with. She filed a rape charge on him. I don't take that lightly. These men were whorish, but surely they didn't have it. She didn't have no right to lie on them. All they did was hit it and quit it. So now I'm gonna file a rape charge on you. I can't deal with people like that, even if it is a woman. Okay, what women like that do is make it bad for women that have actually been violated for real. Because when I was working for MPD, I saw how the women would line up outside of sex crimes, sitting all out in the hall every day because they had really been violated in real life. So I don't mess with women like that got a habit, because that's a dangerous person. These men ain't did nothing but mess with you, did what a man do, and he ain't take it. But you think I'm supposed to stand with you? You think you're going to guilt me into destroying a man just because he hit it and didn't want you no more? No, I don't stand with women like that. Okay? Now you want to go file all types of fake charges on him. Okay? So that's why I don't deal with I don't play like that. I don't play with stuff like that. It ain't just when folks say, "Well, you pro woman." Yeah, I stand with women, but I understand there are a lot of women that ain't shit. And there's a whole lot of damaged women that gets pleasure out of seeing other women hurt. That's how they can rock with these predators when they got damn daughters themselves. I went through hell as a little girl. It looked like she might have been privileged. Bitch, I grew up in Clementine. We was poor, but I didn't know it. My mama and grandmama and them did the best that they could. Okay? But because my mother and them were protective of me, I ain't never been violated or anything like that. Instead of women that have had that happen to them going to getting their ass some help, they allow bitterness and anger to set up on the inside of them, and they want to see the exact same pain up on other women. That's the reason why I say, if you like that, stay your ass up out of here, because we healing up in this motherfucking chat. We don't wish that up on other women. We don't ride with predators, and we don't try and destroy good black men. We don't do that. Okay? Joe Loves God says, exactly. That's true. And those that they manipulate are just glad they are not the targets, so they go along. I'm telling you. Some people want to be a part of something. How you gonna get to be in your damn 50s and let somebody treat you like that? I want to be a part of the gang. Bitch, you ought to be trying to get your life right with God. It's time for you to be getting your life in order so you can go on to the upper room or somewhere. But you on YouTube trying to fit in with somebody that you don't even know that's always been batshit crazy. Okay? Joel Loves God said, exactly, that's true. And those, that's right. They might even be female. Y'all hit that like button. Okay. Hit the like button. Make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe. Okay. Hold on, y'all. Y'all, shout out to Mr. N. He did a good video. He did a good interview. So that's why I tell people, get some healing and get yourself some help. I mean, I'm Miss hey Miss Tamara, y'all good folks. Watch any of our black. Hey Miss Tamara, y'all good folks. Watch any of our young black brothers play football this weekend. Watch any of our young black brothers play football this weekend. You know what? I don't look at football. I used to like basketball until they start acting like little girls. Ooh, he fouled me. They didn't want to be fouled, or they start crying when they get hit too hard. They get knocked down. You know, I stopped looking at it. Coming in there wearing dresses, I was like, I can't look at no mess like this. I ain't enjoyed basketball since I used to be into basketball when Shaquille O'Neal, Nick Van Exel, Eddie Jones, all of them was playing for the Lakers. That was the dream team. Kobe had just got drafted, so y'all know I'm old school. Now I'm trying to see what foot you said. I was just football, but I feel your old school ball players. Right. I like them. I like basketball. I like the University of Memphis basketball, but I've never been able to really get into football. He says LeBron, they fouled me crying and stuff. I was like, I can't look at this mess no more. Because when I was looking at it, they was doing them hard fouls when Charles Barkley and Charles Oakley was fighting and stuff. That was the type of basketball I liked. I mean, the griminess of it. I mean, I loved it. The masculinity of it. Now they done brought femininity, if I said that right, femininity into basketball. I'll pass. If I want to look at a lot of estrogen playing basketball, I'll go look at the WNBA. When I look at the NBA, I want to see masculinity. John Brown says, a real talk with Tamara, how is it that Govan is able to take it to trial having had a proper agreement? Won't they use the info in that against him? I'm not sure, John Brown. They said a proper agreement. Let me ask y'all something. Did Govan ever say he had a proffer? Mr. N said that, right? I'm trying to think. I don't know. I can't remember. I'm not sure because I know what a proffer. I'm not sure how that works. What's up, the Alabama hitter? That's right. The DA did say that, didn't it? They talked with him and now they understand more of his of what happened. So you might be right, John Brown. You're right. The DA did say that. I remember now that they talked to him and they see more of what happened or something. Anil says it was the best thing ever to see Anthony Hardaway come from Memphis to the NBA, then end up coaching a high school basketball team in Memphis with his neighborhood rival and win big. Yeah, shout out to Penny Hardaway. Shout out to Penny. When I worked for the police department, I worked with Penny's aunts. And every year when Penny first went to the NBA, every year for many years, and she said that all of a sudden he stopped doing it. He would give everybody in his family every January, he gave them $20,000. When he first went to the NBA for like the first few years, she said he would always give all of them, his close family members, 20, either 10 or 20,000. I believe she said 20. And she said, but he stopped. And now we don't know why he stopped. But shoot. But she even admitted, she said, I had a casino problem. She said he would give us that money in January. By May, they would go to the casino so much. By May, she would be calling him, Penny, my house in foreclosure. She said he would be like, damn, I just sent y'all some money. John Brown says, you see Gotti showing more of his material possessions on his Insta. Somebody getting worried. Yep, I believe that too, John Brown. His advisors probably told him, once you start getting advisors, I mean, because I know it was her, his mama, her two sisters, and the grandma. Those were the ones he was close to. So that's 3, 4, 5. So that was 100,000 that he was sending them. What, every January? I think he still, took care of the mama and the grandma. He just kind of cut out the auntie stuff. Yeah, I'm sure his financial advisors told him that. Sitting in a recliner rocking chair, gone fishing. I would have been saving that money. Ooh, I promise you, casino couldn't have got that. And I would have I would have been asking Penny, can you ask your financial advisors how I can make this money? I would have been trying to put some that money in some accounts, drawing interest off of it. Hmm. I didn't get a chance to go fishing this year, but the year is still not gone. But believe it or not, it's not a lot of good lakes around the area anymore. It's not a lot of good lakes because it ain't nothing. And the ones that are they real, they got a lot of they don't take care. It be a lot of snakes around, so they don't really take care of the areas. I would love to find a good lake and go fishing. I wish my grandma and them was still alive because that's who I used to go fishing with. I grew up fishing and I know how to clean them and everything, scale them. And those fish were oh my God, they taste so good. I think that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna do me some blue crabs. I'm gonna do blue crabs. I bought me some. I love blue crabs. I don't like crab legs. I like crab claws and I like blue crab. I'm gonna do some blue crab and with garlic butter and I'm trying to think. Do I want something else? One I might do yellow rice. I don't know. He says, well, Anthony Hardaway became an all-star for a few years, then suffered a major injury and it shortened his career. And he wasn't the same player, so he only got one big contract. Yeah. I remember where he set out for a long time. He was like an all-star for many years. He was one of the best. Um, John Brown said Straight Drop was one of the shooters. Yeah, we know Straight Drop was one of the shooters. You talking about it for Young Doll? John Brown, yeah, that's what he was convicted for. Dub JJ says got a spray bottle and put diesel down to keep away the snakes. Get a spray bottle and put diesel down to keep away the snakes. Where would I get some diesel from? At the gas station? Okay. I know my grandma used to say too. Y'all tell me if this work. Does lime keep snakes away? Can you put down lime in your yard and keep snakes away? Yeah, it was right around his death, John Brown. Yeah, my grandma used to say lime would keep snakes away too. Bill Lambert and Davis brothers from the Pacers, Rodman. Yeah, Dennis Rodman. I used to the men used to couldn't stand Dennis Rodman. He used to be feeling on them. Shaq and Dennis Rodman used to get into it all the time. They said Dennis Rodman would be grabbing for their crotch. Scottie Pippen. I'm gonna tell y'all something. People talk about Michael Jordan, but Michael Jordan was only as good as he was because he had Rodman and Pippen. They were real good supporters. Scottie Pippen was an awesome basketball player. He got credit, but I don't think they gave him enough credit. You had what was that guy's name? I used to love him. I used to think he was so cute. He had a twin brother, Harvey and y'all, what was their names? They wore the glasses. They were identical twins. One name was Harvey. Um, one of them played for the Bulls. What was his name? Oh my God, I thought he was so cute. Um, I cannot think of his name. He had a twin brother that played. I cannot think. Yeah, a lot of people don't remember the old school basketball players. Um, but Eddie Jones was my favorite basketball player. Eddie Jones and Jason Williams. Yes, Horace Grant. That was his name. That yeah, the Grants. They were good basketball players. See, Michael Jordan had all of that good talent around him. He had Pippen, he had Rodman, who was a great rebounder. And the men would be running. Rodman was able to be a great rebounder because they said he'd be grabbing for their crotch and they would drop the damn ball. And so he was able to grab the ball. Now that's what Shaq said. Now, a lot of people might have thought that that was a strategy, but I mean, I believe Dennis was getting off. We know now that he liked that kind of stuff. Y'all hit the like button for me, okay? Hey, Memphis Shiesty. Y'all, those were the good old days. I used to love to look. I like Grant Hill, um, Shaquille O'Neal, Eddie Jones, Alonzo Grant. Was it Alonzo Grant? What's his name? Alonzo. He played for them, but Alonzo used to whine too much. He always be getting mad and crying and stuff. I forget. Was it Alonzo Grant? I forget. He played for the Miami Heat. Um, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Alonzo Mourning. That's what it was. Yeah, absolutely right. Alonzo Mourning. That's when I really loved basketball. Like for the University of Memphis, it was Penny Hardaway, Rodney Newsom. Rodney Newsom be in my chat right now. Um, who else? The guy that looked like my daughter's dad. Um, Mingo. His name was Mingo. What's that guy named Mingo that used to play for? He looks just like my daughter's dad. Mingo. Let me see what Mingo's last name was that played for the University of Memphis. His name was Mingo Johnson. That was his name, Mingo Johnson. Wait a minute. I don't know. Was it Mingo Johnson? Yep, that's his name. That's his name, Mingo Johnson. When me and my daughter's dad was going together, we would be out. People would ask him, "Ain't you Mingo Johnson?" So, no, they just got, they had the same big old head. I don't know what it is about them people sis in North Memphis. They be having them big old heads. Chattown Finally says, Tamara, that comment comes from when you were talking about people in their 40s and 50s and 60s. Really? I missed the comment. I missed the comment that you said. I wish Penny didn't stay injured, but he had a pretty good run. Yes, he did. Penny was awesome, and Lorenzen Wright was too. Listen, but it seemed like when Lorenzen Wright went to the NBA, he wasn't. Well, he was popular when he was with the Grizzlies, but as soon as he was traded from the Grizzlies to like other teams, like the Cleveland Cavaliers, like Atlanta Hawks, he kind of fell in the background and became a bench rider. I was just really shocked by that because y'all know Lorenzo Wright was a star in Memphis. So now we're talking about basketball in the old days. I love talk because I used to love basketball. I used to look at it with my great aunts. The University of Memphis, they loved it. They love the University of Memphis. Yeah, what? Why did Lorenzo Wright ask to be traded from the University of Memphis? I mean, from the Grizzlies. I'm trying to figure out why was Lorenzo Wright traded? Was he not happy with the team and asked to be traded or something? I can't remember. He was at the end of his career with the other teams. I said Rodman was yes, he did. He went and put on a gown and married himself. Y'all remember that Dennis Rodman put on a wedding gown and married himself. Now, if he wanted to marry himself, why didn't he put on a tuxedo? He wouldn't put on a wedding gown. Oh, mm-mm. He always been ugly. He said he didn't date black women because he said when he didn't have no money, black women didn't date him. So he didn't date black women. And he always talked about that he was on Howard Stern and this black woman called in and called him ugly. She talked about him so bad. He was on Howard Stern talking about no, I don't date black women because when I was growing up, black women made fun of me, called me ugly. And so now I don't date black women. I just date white women. So, but his ugly ass with his damn lip hanging, his damn all them tattoos out on him. I don't know what he looked like. I still haven't figured out what he looked like yet. But when his ass was growing up, white women didn't date his ass either. But he had the nerve to talk about black women. But when he got some money, white women started dating him. But he's sitting up and said, well, black women call me ugly, though, and talked about me. So now that I got money, I won't date them. Bitch, white women didn't date you either. You just wasn't around. You wasn't even around white women for them to call you ugly because they would have called you ugly too. WJJ says when you are an older player, they tend to trade you. The league is always getting younger. Yeah, that's true. Cam Jones is my cousin's nephew. He's married to Cam's auntie. He's playing for the Pacers now. Cam Jones. I remember when he was. Hey, I'm really proud of Cam. Now Cam last name is Jones, I believe. Hold on. It's Cameron Jones. It's Cam Jones. He plays for the Pacers. Yeah, I ain't doing nothing today. I'm just gonna chill and I'm so happy I don't have anything to do today. I thought about it. I was like, I need to go to Sam's, but I think I might have that delivered to get my puppies some food. Y'all didn't run through food so quick. I buy them the 49 cans. No, it's 36 cans for $40. And they run through them so quick. So what I started doing is ordering their Pampers and pads off of Temu. Like you get you the same thing. I'm seeing now a lot of these stores ordering from Temu because the same pads and Pampers that I buy them from out of Sam's, I get them off of Temu. I get like 400 doggy pads for like $28 or something like that. Whereas you pay $17.99 in Sam's for 100. There's a Cameron Payne out of hold on. Hold on. Cam Jones. Here you go. Cam was born in 2002. So Erica had him a year after I had my baby. I didn't know they was that close together. It says W. It says yeah, it's K-A-M, Cam Jones, K-A-M. He plays for the Indiana Pacers. What you talk about, Macy King? Why you said damn Miss T? Macy King, why you say damn Miss T? Yeah, make sure y'all hit the like button for me, okay? Tell me it looks like his nickname in the NBA, the worm. Macy King, what are you talking about? Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button for me, okay? Macy King, I'm waiting to hear what you say. What you talking about? Are you trolling? Anyway, y'all, I'm just gonna chill today. Horace and Harvey Grant Monty. Sorry, I'm coming in late. I'm behind. Yeah, I used to like Horace Grant. I used to like Horace Grant. Thank you so much for doing the live today. I'm ready to get in traffic and go get my daily blessings. I hope that everyone prospers today. I pray blessings upon you too, Neo, and I appreciate you coming in. I think I started this live out. It just doing inspiration. Then we had the trolls. Then but we just kept it moving. And I guess to sum it up, just be wise about who you allow into your life. Everybody is not deserving of your energy because a lot of people are energy vampires, and then some people are just not ready for your energy. Sometimes you could be such good people. When you've grown up with love in your life, some people grew up just surviving. They had to survive. And so they're going to always, unfortunately, it may take a while for them to reprogram if they even know how to reprogram their brain. So they'll always look at you as a lick. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, so you must be back at the beginning, Macy. Um, you must be at the beginning. Might be a delay. Um, yeah, I was going in on a little early, but I'm cool now though. I have to learn to control. Like I don't be bothering people. I don't. People get mad at me because my opinions are different than theirs, or I know facts and they don't, or something like that. And what they want to do is instead of just dealing with it, saying, you know what, I don't mess with her channel. What they decide is because of their mental illness, they decide that they want to harass people that don't think like them. To them, that's their resolve. And we know that that's definitely insanity. It ain't nothing fun about trolling. He said, look at you finna jump Macy. Hmm. They said Michael Jordan used to bully Horace Grant. He don't like Jordan to this day. Really? They said, you know what? They said Jordan is something else. People talk about Charles Barkley, but Charles Barkley says whenever they would be out hanging out, that when homeless people were on the street, if they was on the street and they asked for money or they try to give homeless people money, Michael Jordan would always try to stop them and say, don't give them no money. The same hand that they use to take their money, they could be using to work. Now, it was the black people, it was the love of the black people had for a basketball player, and that helped him to have the popularity that he had. It was because he had the masses of the black people that loved him, which made white power brokers see that we could take this damn Negro and make money off of him. So because the black people love him, they're following him. What we'll do is we'll put money behind him, because then we'll put his name on our products, because then the black people gonna come and buy it. And you got this bald head, cuckabug head Negro, okay, that don't want to give back. You got homeless people out there. Most homeless people have mental illnesses. A lot of them have gone and fought for the country and they're shell shocked. I don't like how they do veterans. They come back home. A lot of them have not been right. I don't think they get the help that they should from the VA hospital. But you got somebody like Michael Jordan, who we have put up on a pedestal and created generational wealth for his whole life. It's going back to the white folks because he got him a white wife. Okay. And then he got the nerve to have a covetous spirit. I don't care for him either, black ass. I never have. It was way other players that was better than him. But because the white people had invested in him, okay, put his name on their products for the good Negroes to go and buy, they kept him on the pedestal. They gave him good publicity, and they made us believe that he was probably something that he really wasn't, so that they could keep their products. They own the media so that they could keep their products being sold. Okay. They said Jordan gave back. He just wasn't nice to people face to face on a personal level. They said Jordan sprung on Kerr. I like Steve Kerr. Kerr was a good basketball player. Did Kerr play for the Jazz, the Utah Jazz? Is that the team that he played for? The team with Karl Malone? Because you didn't see a whole lot of white guys in the NBA, but Kerr was one of the best. Tamara, I began watching you when you first got started. I pop in every now and then. You're a beautiful person inside and out. The devil can't stand that. Keep grinding and go forward. Thank you, DA. I appreciate that so much. Steve Kerr played with 6 different teams, including San Antonio Spurs. Yeah, this Nick Van Exel still coach. He kind of went low key when his son went to jail for killing his best friend. Remember? Dub and Pippen hated so much. Now Jordan son greasing up his ex-wife. His Pippen wife knows she wrong for that. She done changed the man diapers and now she was dating him. Steve Kerr played for Chicago Bulls with Jordan, then played for the Spurs with Tim Duncan. He coaches the Golden State Warriors and he still holds the number 1 spot in NBA career 3 points. Shout out to Steve Kerr. He coaches the Golden State Warriors. Okay, so now he's a coach for the Golden State Warriors. Y'all, where is Nick Van Exel? Is he still the coach? Okay, so he doesn't coach anymore. Because I know at one time he was coaching. Mm. Okay. Nola says I like Magic, Ray Allen, and Dwayne Wade until he got with Gabby. I did not know that Jordan is a house ninja. And it's so many of them. Yeah, I promise you, it is. Hold on, y'all. I'm looking up something. Y'all, I wanted to talk about this. Well, maybe I should do a video. Y'all, he's a coach with the Grizzlies. Hold on, let me see. Okay, so he was in. It says I like Jordan because he played for North Carolina Tar Heels. My oh yeah, I'm so glad I don't have to do anything today but rest. I don't want no company. I don't want nothing. I just want to rest. Other than that, if my kids come by. No, I can't remember the two guards' name at the moment. I like Jordan because he played for North Carolina. My my friend's back she was engaged to, but they have a daughter together. He went to North Carolina. Antoine Jamison. Um, has anyone seen the Katrina documentary by Ryan? I'm mad. I think I have. I used to, you know what, Nola girl, when Katrina first happened, I was so fascinated with it, with like how like I just couldn't believe like how they did the people of New Orleans. Like they put everybody in that Superdome, and not unless that's a new one, but I couldn't believe it. Like they was putting guns on the people. Folks, mothers and stuff was dying from heat strokes and not having their medicine. And they was making them getting on the bus. And a guy wanted to stay with his mama, and the police had a gun on him and says, either get on the bus or die. And he was like, but my mama's laying here like dead people were laying out in the street, like their loved ones was dying. And he had to leave his mother. They said the police officer said either get on the bus with the gun pointed at him or die. They wasn't even allowed. I mean, just inhumane. And it's just sad. It really is. It's sad when even when I think about that now. Really? No, I don't remember. But is it on YouTube? If it's a new one, I got to go look at it. I remember Barbara Bush when it first happened. You know, George Bush Junior was the president around that time. You know, the drunk one, old man. Well, he an old man now, but the son Bush, the drunk, he was the president. And his mother, Barbara Bush, and you know, Barbara always looked like a man to me. And so Barbara Bush, I remember they interviewed Barbara Bush, and Barbara Bush says that they had the people in the Superdomes, and she says everything is going good. Some of these people are living better than they've ever lived before, or something like that. Let me see what Barbara. I want to, because I couldn't believe that she said it. Just let's see. Yeah, I could. What did she say? Some of these people, they had all those people in the Superdome, and they're in better conditions than they were before being in the Superdome. Oh wow. Hmm. Some other children were being molested. It was horrible for them. Oh wow. The government failed New Orleans from Bush to FEMA, even the Louisiana government. I always felt like that they wanted I always believed that they broke the levees and they wanted to clear out New Orleans and bring and run the prices up high so that it wouldn't be a majority black city anymore. And that's why they took the prices up of houses and stuff down there in New Orleans. And I think it backfired on them. They wanted to send all the black people out of New Orleans. That's the one that I saw when the levees broke. That's the one that I saw. Nola girl, where's this documentary at? Is it on YouTube? They wanted the land. So many people lost their homes and could never get back. I'm telling you, that's what I always said. Because then they say that insurance companies don't even insure you for water, and you can't get water insurance or flood insurance or something like that. It's on Hulu. Okay, it's on Hulu. Okay, you can get flood insurance, but you have to meet the codes and the standards that they created. Oh Lord, but it's below sea level. Everything down there is below sea level, right? So how could they put restrictions on that? All the black areas are not occupied by whites, and they're changing the laws down there as for parade and Mardi Gras and everything. You have to build your house a certain amount of feet off the ground. Oh wow. Mm. She said my family is scattered all over as a result. Insurance companies are legal scammers. Yeah. I'm thinking about getting an insurance license just to learn the business. And I ain't gonna sell no insurance. I'm not even good at selling nothing. But I want to learn the business. It's been 20 years since it happened, and that's something I'll never get over. So the real T, are you from New Orleans? Jamison played with Vince Carter and Rasheed Wallace. I like Vince. Yep. Jamison and Vince were very cousins. I believe Jamison, no, Vince and the other one was cousins. But Jamison and Vince were best friends. They pretty much don't want to pay it off. Okay, he says he's in Jonesboro, about an hour from Memphis. Yeah, Tracy McGrady and Vince are cousins. Yep. Tracy was very underrated. Hello, Miss Mildred. A rumor has it Vince Carter was the original creator of bottle services at nightclubs. I was living in Memphis when Katrina hit. If remember, hundreds those people from the New Orleans came to Memphis and stayed. Yeah, a lot of people that moved to Memphis from Katrina did not leave, but I remember when I was working for the police department. Yeah, Katrina happened in 2005, and the police departments was angry because a lot of people packed up. They were staying in hotels and stuff, and you had Memphians that was going and trying to rob them and stealing their stuff. Because they had a lot of their stuff on top of their car. They was trying to get to hotels, and they was trying to steal and rob from the people. Tracy McGrady started having injury issues, mainly his back. Oh, I see. Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get off of here. I might get back on later. I don't know. If I don't, I might be in somebody else's live. But I'm getting ready to chill. I gotta take out my blue crab. I can't wait to eat them. That's what I'm gonna eat for dinner today. Blue crabs, garlic butter, and I might do a vegetable medley or yellow rice. I don't know, but I'm getting ready to chill right now. I haven't even had no coffee, so I gotta make me some coffee and stuff. Anyways, you guys, I enjoyed being on here with y'all today. I love you guys. I'll talk with you all later. Have a great Saturday. Be safe, be careful, stay hydrated. Talk to you later.